folks. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Retail Perch. We've been so excited hosting some of these amazing guests on our show. We hope you've been enjoying them as well. In fact, today we have another one. But before I get into that, first of all, I want to thank you guys for your support and for listening to these episodes. I hope you've been getting some value out of it, just as we have been enjoying doing it. And today we have one of my favorite guest co-hosts back on the show again with us. Stephanie Doherty. And Stephanie, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is the one who's behind the podcast. She's the one who edits out all the ahs and the ums and the awkward gaps and the things that I shouldn't be saying and make sure that it comes out perfectly. So Stephanie, it's great to have you back here.
Well, thank you for having me back, Shekar. I was excited to get another opportunity.
Yeah, and for those of you wondering what Gary's up to, he's out skiing on the slopes of Vail, Colorado. That's why he's not on this episode. So Gary, I'm sure you're really missing being on this episode, but I'm sure he's having fun. What do you think, Stephanie?
I'm assuming he is, because he keeps going back. I think he likes it.
That's right. I think it's going to get sad when winter is over.
Probably.
That's right. Anyway, so I don't want to waste any more time. I want to quickly introduce our amazing guest. I met Didi Chan, who is our guest for today, a couple of years ago at an event. I think it was Shop Talk in Vegas. And I've been following what she's been doing. She's, very high energy, amazing entrepreneur. But we want to hear a little bit about her background. So Didi, welcome to our podcast. How are you?
I am good. Hi, Shekar and Stephanie. It's great to be here with you.
Terrific. So Didi, let's kick this off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where'd you come from, in terms of your career, and how did you wind up with FutureProof Retail?
Awesome. Well, I grew up in California, and I was raised in kind of a traditional household where it's very strict. I'm supposed to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. Long story short, I did well in school, and then I realized one day that I wanted to be more creative. I wanted to do my own thing and explore what else is out there. So I kind of took off on a path of philosophy, kind of asking, how can I create my life how can I maximize the potential without following somebody else's plan? And following that rabbit hole, I ended up coming to New York City. I went to New York for graduate school. And when I graduated, I started the path of entrepreneurship. The first company I had was an event planning company because I was raised in such a strict household. I never got to go to party. So I didn't know how to get invited to the cool parties. So I wanted to create the party that people come to me so I can make friends. And then after that, I figured, what can I do? I was really good student. So I decided to start an education consultancy. So I work with students from more than 15 different countries and get them into the top college in US without cheating. None of my kids cheat. And I had a lot of fun doing that. And that was essentially mini entrepreneurship. Because when you work with a child and you connect them to college, it's not just about the books. It's about what they want to be, who they want to become. And you take their talent and their passion and you try to essentially be the consultants that guide them. It's like, these are the resources that can help you grow in your passion. So what we did is pretty much a lot of case study and research and understanding which path can help the student really thrive. So following that trajectory, I end up joining a philosophy club. And I met my partner in a philosophy club and we bonded over the value of time. We want to maximize human potential by removing friction in time. And his background, and along with my core team's background, are in tech. They've all been making award-winning mobile applications literally since the launch of the App Store. So we have me in education and party planning, and we have my team in like amazing tech. And one day I was traveling with my partner and I wanted a bottle of water and there was a long line and we were late to the plane and I didn't have cash. I was complaining to him saying, hey, Speaking of friction and time, won't it be awesome if we don't have to wait in line anymore? Think what we could do with our lives without waiting in line. He was trying to impress me and said, I can make an app to solve it. And I said, prove it. Long story short, he made a prototype that worked, and I applied the education method in researching, can we make something out of this? And that's when I learned all about retail tech. And retail tech, once in a decade, you have a new technology that comes to the market and become its own industry. And the previous technology is e-commerce. With individual computers, e-commerce became a new way to transact, and it really expanded. So I follow the e-giants, Amazon and Alibaba, and watch what they were doing. And this was in 2013. And I made 3 predictions. One, that I noticed there was diminishing marginal returns in e-commerce, and that both of them were investing in physical retail. So I expected both of the e-giants to come offline and compete in the physical space, but like with a lot of tech know-how. And 2, I expected them to come offline in either grocery or fashion first, because those are the 2 industries, despite putting a lot of investment, have the slowest growth in terms of e-commerce adoption. And those are also very high touch industries where it's fun, and the experience being in the physical store adds something very magical and exciting, and it's just not going to be replaced. And 3, based on their investment activities at the time, I thought they were going to come offline in 2015. And I thought this was an opportunity to use the foundation of our philosophy and to lead an entire new industry and apply all of our skills and talents and ambition to be the best version of ourselves while creating a service that aligns with our values, so we can make money while doing good and offer ourselves as the technology partners to help retailers affordably compete with the Amazons and the Alibabas of the world. And so that is how we got started, and we've been here ever since.
Okay, so that's a lot to unpack. So let me see if I got this. So really good, bright student, grew up in a fairly traditional household, probably went to good schools, did really well as a student, came out, didn't have much of a social life. So you decided that you're going to create an app where the party comes to you, and then you got into training students how to get into good colleges. You started a consultancy. So that process, you did a lot of research, understood different people's outlooks and behaviors and how to guide them. And then one day you run into somebody who is really cool and good at making mobile apps and award-winning mobile apps, and you happen to find yourself in a line buying a bottle of water, get frustrated about the fact that this bottle of water shouldn't take this long to buy, and come up with this idea of what you have today, make some predictions in the marketplace based on your studies about what's going to happen, and then you said, boom, I've got the answer.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. So that's pretty amazing. That's such an amazing story. So I can't wait to hear what you actually created. I mean, I know a little bit, but I can't wait to hear from you in terms of what you've created. But Stephanie, do you have any questions?
I do, because I read that one of Didi's professors was responsible for choosing entrepreneur road instead of law school. Was that true, Didi? Didn't one of your professors encourage you to become an entrepreneur?
Yes, David Harper. He was my professor and he was my boss. I was his research assistant when I was a master's at NYU, and he became my mentor, and we talk about everything on life and work and entrepreneurship and economics. And I asked him I was still I was dabbling in entrepreneurship. I was still, there's still a strong force of the family idea, the law was the path at that time. And I wanted a recommendation from him. And he encouraged me to take some time because he got to know me. And he's like, I see how excited you are when you do all of these random things. If you take some time to explore, like, I see you doing all of these things. And he believed in me. And sometimes that's all it took. It takes somebody to believe in you and to give you that courage to take that leap of faith. And David Harper believed in me. That was really inspiring. And I was like, well, if he can believe in me, I should believe in myself. And I kind of took that leap of faith. And we created a really good friendship and a really good mentorship, and that we exchange ideas back and forth all the time. And so I'm very grateful to him.
That's awesome. That's so great. I mean, everybody has somebody who's played that role in their life to kind of push them over the edge and say, this is the direction you need to go, right? So no, that's fantastic. And it's great that you're still in touch with him very much, and you're obviously exchanging notes and still have a great relationship with him. That's terrific. I mean, and that's something I find common with a lot of entrepreneurs, which is that they've all somehow found somebody who has kind of been that first person to tap on their shoulder and say, you can do it, and kind of give you the kind of courage. I mean, maybe you knew it all along, but you needed somebody else to kind of give you that one more step of validation, right? So to tell me, so let's move on next. So how did you wind up with FutureProof Retail? I mean, yes, you were in the bottle, holding this bottle of water, trying to figure out how you can get through this line, but what was the next step in the process?
Well, the next step after doing the market research and understanding retail technology a little bit, and understanding that we predicted e-commerce coming offline, and we predicted the future of store to be way more experiential, where you have both the convenience and the personalized capability of online shopping, but you also have like the ability to create these amazing experiences where it's more than just buy an item. You really go shopping, and maybe you can have a date there. There's a lot of different creative ways to transform the store into social hubs. And we wanted to enable that to be like the e-commerce in person. You know, we want to make the shopping piece so easy, and in the background you don't notice it. So then you can actually highlight the store, you can highlight the product, you can highlight the entire shopping experience, because I also love to shop, and that is what people go to stores for that experience, for that socialization. But the technology can just enable that to make it easy. So when we researched and understand the market, we picked scan and go mobile checkout as the future that can enable this amazing experience. And at that time, we looked at both the Amazon Go, like the grab and go experiences, versus the scan and go. And the reason we picked mobile is twofold. One, based on that shopping experience, and to enable to create that, there has to be something interactive. Like, for example, if you want to bring in the best personalized recommendations, you can give me the best coupon before I shop or after I shop. That's not going to make an impact on me. As the moment I am scanning this item, you can recommend me something relevant. So in order to give you that relevant recommendation at the point of impact, you have to have some sort of interaction, which is where we see mobile fitting. And the other piece is, we believe mobile is the most scalable solution. It's easy, you can integrate it, and the technology is not the star. The retailer is the star. So like, we are just a blank canvas that enable retailers to be and express their unique brand, their unique store. And more than 7 years in this industry, I think it is really important to understand we are in the B2B space. We're the second business. The original business is the retail business, and technology is never going to outshine the original business. And if you do, you're doing something wrong, and you're not going to be able to scale as effectively. The best tech, we believe, is something that's in the background that collaborate, that enhances the original business, which is something our philosophy and the way we work really wrap it up and bring to the table as well.
I really like that. I think you've obviously very smart. You understand the nuances of communicating with retailers and basically communicating a value proposition, because, you know, the retailer's brand and their experience with their shopper, the connectivity of the shopper is so critical. And I think the idea is not to come between that. The idea is how do you enhance that relationship? How do you tighten that bond? And you see technology as a means of improving that relationship. That's very much lines with the way we think too, right, Stephanie? Very much, right?
It is. I while you were talking, I literally was looking for a like button. I wanted to like it. So a lot of the things that you said ring true for us as well, and it's great to hear.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. So tell me, what makes your so FutureProof Retail is about a scan and go solution. So that's clear. So do you see like the Amazon Go type stores exploding, or do you see more like the scan and go, or is it going to be a split? Or there's enough room for both to happen? What do you see?
It's two different market. Like the Amazon Go like stores, I see it doing really well in like gift shops or small conveniences, or like in stadiums, where you go in and you are at an event and you grab and you go, or something like that. The scan and go solution I see as more more widespread. You can work everywhere in different type of retail as like kind of like the bread and butter. And from the smallest retailers to the biggest retailers, they can offer that, because scan and go also enable retailers, especially the bigger one, to have their own brand. It's their own app, so they can actually bring their brand value from before the store equity, the brand equity, to online equity, to literally in the shopper's own hands. So that value proposition, and you can, like, why we call ourselves future proof, is scan and go isn't just scan and go. Like, we can work with a lot of partners. Like we work with Harper, for example, to bring that food recommendation into grocery stores. And in the future, we also work with another partner, Zero. They do location navigation. So you can be in the store and search for your favorite yogurt, and it can take you indoor to the exact spot. Or you can have location-based like pop-up recommendation. So when you think about future proof, when you think about delivering a technology that can grow with the retailer, you have the foundation, which is a scan and go to checkout, because every time you shop, you have to check out. So let's make that easy. We give that basic value proposition that you have to do. We make it simple so you don't even notice it. And then we create a platform that's flexible enough to grow with you, to partner with whatever solution you want to partner with, and to connect to your store so you can build your brand and your own story. And that is something only Scan and Go has that flexibility to offer. Other technology solution, the technology itself, it's one thing, and sometimes it clashes and competes with the retailer. And it is our belief and that, once again, we believe we're the second B. So kind of bringing in, we listen to the retailer. We believe, we cannot be successful without the retailer being successful. If the retailer goes out of business, we're down. We have nobody to serve. So the retailer have to be successful. So they have to always innovate. And they're not innovating in technology because they're not tech company. They're innovating in their retail business. So we come to the table, because we're not retail pros, but we're tech pros. We come to the table with trusted technology that can enable retailers to innovate however they want. So that is why we see Scan and Go being the solution that's here to stay, and it's validated by the market. There's a lot more Scan and Go that's being adopted right now than any other frictionless checkout solution.
That's awesome.
Just for clarity, the Scan and Go is I can go into the grocery store or the clothing store maybe even and scan my own items and never have to stand in the checkout line or even interact with any other person in the whole store.
Yes, exactly. You can scan, you can pay with your phone, and you can check out. Like if you have
Scan and go.
Yeah, scan and go.
That's right.
And how do you when someone asks about like the accuracy of the app, is there concern from the retailer about are products walking out the door?
Great question. Yeah, everybody asks that. Amazing. We spent 1 year working on loss, and we are rated one of the most secure self-checkout solution in the market. And there's a lot of study that goes into that. But to make it easy, we have the most flexible loss prevention solution. Just like retailers are not homogeneous, one size doesn't fit all, we understand to make loss really secure, we have to ask, well, what is your existing loss prevention policy? What is loss in your store now? How do you envision it? And then we can adjust to it. So in grocery space, mostly we use an auditing system. So a random percentage of the trips you will be audited and someone will check on you. And that is customizable per location. And the algorithm is so good that we've done, we look at the loss stats and we have a 99.8% accuracy rate. And in the fashion space, we can work with like RFID security. And we can, in Europe, we have integrated to security gates. So we have a lot of different loss platforms that we can work with, that we can integrate with. And we have the results in the market because we've been in the market long enough to prove the highest secure rate in the frictionless checkout space.
That's great. That's fantastic. So, and how do you, and I know we're trying to focus mostly on the grocery side of things. So how do you deal with things like random weight items?
Great question. So it takes an ecosystem of technology solution to make a seamless experience. So we partner for that as well. We work with digital scales. We work with Preserva, we work with Tillator, and or any other digital scales in the stores that they can install by the produce area. And if you use the fancy computer vision one, you can put a produce on and you can just scan the barcode that gives you the item and the weight itself. There are other versions where you enter in the PLU number onto the app and then you scan the weight, or you can print out the weight as a sticker and then you can scan the barcode in that way as well.
Nice. So does the retailer have to invest separately in that system if they want to get your solution, or how does that work?
Yeah, most retailer already have some sort of digital scale because they do have to wait for the produce, and that actually worked really well. So we can work with their existing digital scale. A lot of times different retailers would invest in a few specific scan and go scales from one of the partners that we work with, because that enhances the experience and that makes things nicer, and they like to offer that. So yes, this is something separate, but we work with what they have too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if a retailer wanted to work with you, from soup to nuts, how long does it take for them to go live with your solution?
I can say to retailers, we can move as fast as they want. And based on experience, we're very confident on that. Okay. And we're the most transparent company on the market. So they can literally go to our website, see our pricing model. We don't lock in, they can work with us month by month. And pretty much we figure out what integration they want, what we need to do, and we can go as fast as they want us to.
Got it. So what they get is they get a branded app with your technology built into it, right? Mm-hmm. And that their shoppers can use then as a scan and go solution. So what do you do for retailers who say, I already have an app? Can you integrate it into my existing app?
Yes, absolutely. We have done that working with retailers. A lot of times they have multiple apps because app was like really hot in like 2010s. But so they might have like 3-4 apps, and then they want to have one banner app that work across like their different brands. Like we have the tech skills and we're working with clients to do all sorts of different integration. We can make one app that work across multiple brands for them. We can put our feature into their existing app. We can take or they can start with our app and take their best feature and migrate it over. Or if they don't want their own app, we have a generic express checkout app that still can brand to their location when at their location. So they can use our app and still get their brand experience. Everything we do is about focusing on the retailer and showcasing them.
Got it. No, it's fantastic. So, there's quite a few retailers who do listen to this podcast. So I want to make sure that they understand your value proposition. And is there anything that you think you might want to tell these retailers who are listening in terms of what can they expect as a benefit once they have your solution implemented?
They can see ROI right away. One is especially in COVID time, is a touch-free solution that is very easy to set up. Two, I can say we are good forever, and that doesn't really mean much, but we have results. Like they can see real case study. We, prior to COVID, we achieved 10% shopper adoption at our top location within a year of rollout. So we set the industry record for that. And since COVID, in our top location with the COVID booth, we reached 30% adoption. And just put things into perspective, with more than 2 decades of e-commerce in the industry, with the COVID booth, e-commerce grocery reached about 20-something% adoption. And we've done that in less than 2 years' time. So we have results. And I know retailers, they don't just want a sales pitch, they want what is real, what is possible. We have reference clients, and we are completely transparent. If they go to our website, they can see a demo video, they can see our pricing model, and they can try us out. For us is, if they're not happy, we don't get the business, because we're, if they're happy, then they become our best sales team. They become our reference client, and then we get the business based on reality in the industry, based on traction. So try us.
It makes total sense to me. So basically, if you're a retailer out there listening to this and you want to get in touch with FutureProof Retail, I mean, clearly they seem to have very transparent pricing, very flexible business model in terms of how they can adapt your existing ecosystem of products. They provide you a platform that you can grow with over time. And clearly they're addressing a market need where people want to spend less time in the store, waiting in line to get their products checked out, and just get in and get out, right? And completely own the experience in some sense. So I love what you're saying. I mean, I think this sounds fantastic. So what does the future of FutureProof Retail looks like? What's the vision? Where are you going with this?
Well, the vision is to enable the best shopping experience, because I love to shop. And also kind of, going the future, it goes back to our foundation, like the philosophy. Like the dream is to work in a way that aligns with our value, and to be able to make money doing that, and to be able to do it in a win-win situation, that we can do something that benefit every chain of the process, that benefit our team, that benefit our clients, that benefit our partner. And we can do it in a way that's not winner take all, like we're dominating all of these stuff. It's like we come in and we're the technology experts, we specialize in that, and we enable retailers to really build a brand. And we're just the background that they can trust, the tech that will work, that can integrate with their system. And we just create a better and better ecosystem.
It's great. Stephanie, any questions?
Well, I just wanted to point out something that Didi did during the pandemic. Did you offer your product for free to retailers?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Did anyone take you up on it?
Yes, there's several places took us up on it. Because at that time,
wait, hang on. You offered your product for free to retailers.
The generic version of it. So we decided during the pandemic, there was a lot of anxiety, there was a lot of stress, and there was a lot like quick, we have to change our system. How can we get throughput? So we're like, what can we do to help? And so the generic version, we offered any essential retailers that want to use it, they can have it, no strings attached. They want to work with us later, great. If they just want to try it as a way that can help them, they can do it. And at that time, so we did that at the beginning of the lockdown, and we kept on building partnerships and kept on, we really want to show who we are by show, not tell. We really want to, have the track record and have the results to speak for themselves.
That's amazing. I mean, that's really the hallmark of somebody who's not just building a business to make money, but you want to build a business that makes a difference in people's lives. And I think that's really a trademark of somebody who thinks big, who thinks about, hey, I want to make a difference in this world. I want to make a difference in people's lives. And I think we need more entrepreneurs like you, Didi. That's what I can tell you, is that, it's amazing to know, people who think like that and who are actually not just talking about it, but actually doing it and showing it by action. So if you're a retailer out there and you want to make a difference to your business and you're thinking about technologies that you need to adopt, you need to get in touch with Didi Chan at FutureProof Retail, because these people are doing some amazing things. So it's been so fantastic speaking to you so far. But before we start closing out, and I can't believe we're close to coming up on 40 minutes here. But that's how it is when we speak to some amazing entrepreneurs here on the show. We don't even notice time flying, and I feel like we need a second episode to really get the full story on Didi, because I know there's so many more sides to Didi than just FutureProof Retail. So Didi, what is 2021 looking like for you guys in terms of growth?
2021 is nice. It's the pandemic. We can see the end of the pandemic. Vaccines are out, so we're very happy with that. We just keep on doing what we're doing. We added more partnerships. So we last year we're AWG partner, and now we're partner with Unified. So we're really excited about our new partnerships that we can offer our solution to their grocery retailers. And we keep on improving the product, and we keep on trying to build community, because grocery is a people's business, for all of the trade show and, all of the retailers. Once they've been in this industry long enough, it is really about community building, and it's fun community, a lot of stories. And we're honored to be part of this community. We come in from the tech side of things, but we've listened, we learned a lot. I think our success isn't because, I think our success is because people shared a lot of their stories with us. We listened to what retailers want, and we were able to change and modify our product to exactly what they want. And so they gave us the opportunity to work with them. And in the process, we create something really beautiful, really fun, and a really great shopping experience.
Great.
Terrific. Stephanie, are you blown away like I am?
I really am. I think we should introduce Didi to build.org, because I think she could do great things there.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's a young entrepreneurship program, Didi, that we work with that does great things with high school students. I just think your background in education and entrepreneurship, you'd be perfect.
I love working with students.
Yeah. And we're one of these days, we're also running a club on Clubhouse called Retail Tech Trends, which you should join, by the way, for sure. And I think I already invited you.
I think I joined. I think I accepted.
We're going to be hosting a room here pretty soon, quite regularly, and do some part of this podcast in that room, and talk to a bunch of retailers and have a bunch of tech entrepreneurs in the retail space have this discussion about how we can move retail forward and, get that shopping experience, really fine-tuned where the shoppers have a great time walking into the store and walking out. And, technologies like yours are so crucial in that process, because, I think going in and picking up those items and putting it in your cart, and then you suddenly realize I got to go through checkout, that's kind of like where the stress factor increases, and you have no idea how long it's going to take sometimes, unfortunately, right? And I think the variability of how long it might take to check out is sometimes it takes 2 minutes, sometimes it's 15 minutes. And because, you got 20 lanes and for me, I normally go up and down to figure out which is the shortest lane, right? I'm trying to find the shortest one, and given the fact that we have to stand 6 feet apart, it's actually become easier to figure out the shortest one now. So, but listen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been fantastic speaking to you. Do you have any parting thoughts? Anything you want to say here before we close this out?
Enjoy, springtime is here. I'm really excited, and I think last year has been transformative, and there was a lot we got to learn, both externally about the business as well as internally about ourselves. I'm really hopeful and optimistic about a new year. And I think all of that lesson we learned, not being able to go to trade shows in person and having like podcasts, having all of these digital venues, Like, I think we can take it forward as we go back into physical stores, back into physical conferences, back into the physical world, like take all of the digital lessons and let's just combine the best of both worlds.
That's nice. I can't wait to see you back in a show in Vegas coming up, hopefully this fall, right? So we can't all wait to get out and travel and meet our clients and do the things that we do, instead of, I'm zoomed out. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of zoomed out, at this point. I just want to go meet people and talk to them. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm enjoying Clubhouse so much, because I get to talk to so many people. But, and I think you're also a very people kind of person. I know I've seen you but listen, I just want to close out with this. So those of you who are listening, again, we're speaking to Didi Chan of FutureProof Retail, and she just gave us an amazing story of how she started a company and what she does and the value proposition. If you're interested, please reach out to Didi Chan at FutureProof Retail, dchan@futureproofretail.com. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And you go to the website, there's plenty of information. And Stephanie, anything you want to say before we close out?
Just, it was great to meet you, Didi. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
Coming, folks, and you stay safe. I hope you guys are getting your vaccines, put those applications in, and we'll see you around pretty soon. And we'll have another amazing episode of Retail Perch coming out next week again with some more exciting guests. But I know today was the best we've had so far. Didi has been amazing. So thank you, Didi, again for spending time on our show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Okay.